Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Lyrical Psychology. I'm Coach Erica L. Reynolds.
And I'm Coach Dominique Currington. Thank you guys for joining us yet again.
All right, Coach, I'm super excited today because today we have a special episode that is curated for a special group of people. It's our Mother's episode. And I know you picked a wonderful song, and I'm kind of excited about what I picked too. Coach, tell us what song you chose for today.
I picked Tupac's Dear Mama, which was released in 1995. The reason why I picked this song is because it truly resonates with me, ideally, because it allows me to reflect on my childhood, growing up, and sometimes not necessarily appreciating the love that my mom showed us. And so now it allows me to reflect on that and understand every single thing that she did and how that helped to shape me into the person that I am today. And so that's the reason why I picked Dear Mama.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to get into it.
So I just love this song, Dear Mama. But one of the lyrics that really just resonates with me goes as follows. Tupac says, when I was sick as a little kid to keep me happy, there's no limit to the things you did. And all my childhood memories are full of all the sweet things you did for me. And even though I act crazy, I got to thank the Lord that you made me. So again, I just think about as a young child growing up being sick, the only thing that could really comfort me was the love of my mother and that she gave so selflessly. And she was able to juggle a lot of things based off of all of the roles that she occupied as at the time because she was not only a mother to me, she was a mother to two of my other siblings as well on a full-time basis. She also held a full-time job. And in addition to that, she was a wife to my father. And now understanding all of the roles that she occupied, accompanied by all of the responsibilities that are housed underneath each role, she gave up an awful lot just to be by my side. And in those moments, she somehow did it so seamlessly that I never felt as though I was actually a burden for her. I always felt as though she enjoyed taking care of me, and she made it known that it was her duty and her responsibility to nurse me back to health. And she did that just fine. Or latter part of that states, and even though I act crazy, I gotta thank the Lord that you made me. And so just showcasing my gratitude that I am here. I thank God that out of all of the women in the world, he could have picked to be my mother. He picked Melanie Currington. And I feel like she was just crafted just for me, just for that role. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I also want to say in moments and glimpses of time in which I look back, I may not have always been grateful. I may not have always said the right things or even done the right things, right? Because we're all not perfect. Even in those moments, I never doubted that my mom loved me unconditionally. And even in my wrongdoings, my mama was there right by my side to help me out of some of the toughest battles that I've ever experienced in life. And I do apologize for the craziness, sometimes the erratic and irrational behavior. But at the very heart of it was a girl maybe searching for some understanding, but now that understanding has come full circle. And I understand the role of a mother, and I love the example that I have for a mother. And so, again, that's why that particular lyric resonates with me.
I think that was beautiful. We don't think about it. We just think this is our mom, we're sick, and they're supposed to take care of me. And it's not till
Mhm.
we get older. And like you said, we're both moms, we have our own kids. And it's, yeah, I am the one that's going to take care of you. But at the same time, we're juggling. You know what I mean? Sometimes there may be that really important meeting that you have to do.
Mm.
And you have to understand to prioritize and the fact that our mothers did what they did.
Mhm.
for us. And I know
Mhm.
you're not an only child, and neither was I by far. So it
No.
wasn't just doing it for the one, like you and I have the one now. Look, we learned
Mm.
from them. That's it. We're not there.
Yeah, that's it.
We
Yeah.
learned from them on that. I love that. I love that song, Coach. That's a classic. And that's a very sweet dedication to your
Yes.
mom.
Dear Mama, your gift of love, my paradigm, a model I consider to be quite divine. Your love was gifted to me as a paradigm. Some may consider it an anomaly coming from a girl from the lower nine. But in every stage of my life, I considered it to be quite refined and in many aspects, even divine. Although you had your share of plights, you never shied away from the fight. The fight for your children to experience unconditional love. The fight to ensure we never experience lack. The fight to build resilience in us, even in our moments of slack. Although I do not recall the moment of my conception, I rely on the moments of my perception. I perceived you cared because you were always there. I perceive you as selfless because of the sacrifice. I perceive you as brave because of your courage. I thank you for your love, gifted to me as a paradigm, one that transcends across all segments of time and helps me to continue to be a good mother to this little child of mine.
Coach, oh my gosh, that was beautiful. What made you write that? I didn't know you were a lyricist yourself.
Yeah, coach. So thanks so much for asking. So actually what inspired me to write that poem was I just truly wanted to write something to express my love and adoration I have for my mother. So my mother's love, it actually served as a paradigm or a model that I began to use as I stepped into motherhood. My mom grew up as the fourth of five children in the Ninth Ward of New Orleans, and she experienced quite a bit of plight or misfortune during her upbringing, including the loss of her father. I do believe to this day that that actually contributed to her being such a devoted mother to my siblings and I, as she probably subconsciously always wanted to just savor the time and make the best out of it that she had with us here on earth. So she poured everything into her kids, even when we became adults. And sometimes it will feel a bit overwhelming, and we would say, Mom, we're not babies anymore. You can't baby us all of our lives. But she would always say that, you kids are my world, my kids are my life. And I also think that that actually translated into her being a grandmother. She feels the exact same way about her grandkids. So I thank her today and every day for what she has done over the years and what she continues to do to showcase her love and relentless dedication to us as well as our kids. And so um but what I think about, or what I thank her for the most, is the model of motherhood she gifted me with. And it's because of her, I have a scholarly reference dating back to my childhood memories to serve as a guide for parenting my daughter. So obviously, it makes parenting my daughter a little bit easier. So thank you, Mom, for that gift. And I hope that you have a happy Mother's Day.
Um, I think that that was beautifully done. And I'm excited though to share about my mother next, if we're ready.
I'm ready, Coach. I'm
All
always
right.
ready for what you have to share.
Oh, okay. Look at how that goes.
All right.
All right. So, Coach, we're also, this is the dedication from me to my mom.
Hmm.
Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about her first. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I have a very special song that I'm going to dedicate to a very special woman, my mother. My mom
Hmm.
passed away in 2017. And
Sorry
so
to hear
this,
that.
oh, thank you, Coach. I appreciate
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
But this song is The Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. It's one of
Mhm.
those timeless songs. I believe the movie Beaches came out in like 1988, and it just has everything you wish you could put into words for
Mhm.
maybe somebody that's been there for you or special in your life. And for me, it just holds an extra memory because it was the first time that I saw my mom cry. Was back in 1988. I was about 10 or 11 years old, and we were watching the movie together. And at the end,
Mhm.
when they're playing this song, I saw a single tear go down her cheek. And I was, you know how kids are. We can't just let things just slide. We have to we have to mention it because we bring
Mhm.
it out to them. And I'm like, mommy, are you crying? And she wiped it away. And then, in her classic self, she says, Erica, leave me alone, and and that was her. That was who she was. My mother was a character. She was full of so much energy, full of life. She loved her family with all her heart. She just loved people, though. Okay. Like she could light up a room without even trying. Everyone
Mhm.
knew Ella. Okay. And so,
Mhm.
even though we had like times that were hard, she really just kept her spirit intact, laugh. There was always joy, and she always had that grit. She was going to get things done. So she raised six of us. She was a school teacher. On a school teacher's salary, she had six children, and she was a single parent. Okay.
Mhm.
So my parents divorced, and we were here in Houston, in a whole new city and state. And here she was. And so in the 1980s, they didn't pay teachers a whole lot. So she
Mhm.
had to work evenings and on weekends also as a cashier at the neighborhood Safeway, which was a grocery store back then. It was right across the street from us. And
Mhm.
so this is in the same neighborhood where she taught. And her students would see her when they would go shopping with their parents, and so she's their school teacher by day, and here by the evening and weekend, there's Miss Reynolds. And they would
Mhm.
shout out and get excited and run over to her register, and she would just smile and wave and talk and always say, make sure you do your homework. She said she loves saying that to them. You better have your homework. And everybody would laugh. And it was just really sweet. It was like the community had so much respect for her. And my mom, there was no shame in it. Like there's no shame in making an honest living, So she's taught school. She worked as a cashier at the grocery store, and she sold Avon. She was your neighborhood Avon lady too. So she did what she had to do. No
She was a
shame.
hustler.
She was a hustler, coach. That may tell you a little something about me, girl. Okay.
Uh-huh.
She did
Uh-huh.
what she had to get done.
Mhm.
But she taught mostly third grade math and science. So, which is wonderful. We love to hear, the Black excellence math and science teachers. So she was one
Mhm.
of those. I remember her always doing the science projects and excited with the kids and the volcano that would erupt and all that fun stuff. And so generation after generation of these students saw her as their honorary mother because she taught for 25, 30 something years, right? And so it was such a impact on the community that when I got to 10th grade, I went to a school that year where a lot of her former students were. I didn't know them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Some of them were older than me, but they knew me. And because I was, oh, that's Miss Reynolds' daughter, like they looked out for me, which I really appreciated and needed that going into this new school. They made sure that I was good, that nobody messed with me. And it was a blessing. Those people are actually friends of mine. And so that was really nice.
Mhm.
But she used to sing Wind Beneath My Wings, like around the house. It was a
Mhm.
popular song. And for her, I think it was just her, that song. It was just her. It was a beautiful song, a beautiful melody. And so anyway, today I want to share a part of the song that brings her spirit alive for me. So,
Okay.
okay, let's go
Well,
for it.
coach, I mean, maybe I might have been in your mother's presence maybe once, but
Ah, that's right.
but it's quite refreshing to hear about her character and who she was. And I can't help but say that there are some things that you're talking about as far as your mother's character
Mhm.
that resonates with you, or to me, that is synonymous with you, like her being a go-getter. Think that
Yes,
you
ma'am.
are the same person, like obviously you may not have chosen the same career path, but obviously you have done a lot, you know, and no matter if your back is against the wall, you get it done. You get it
Mhm.
done and you stick to the objective. And so I'm just so glad that she instilled those values in you, or that value of hard work, perseverance, and just the wherewithal to weather the storms of life. So for one strong woman, I think she was the strong woman and she passed that torch to you as well. So I salute her and I salute you as well. And so yeah, so thank you for sharing that with me, coach.
Thank you, coach. Thank you for saying that. I forgot you did meet her. So that makes
Mhm.
this even more special. And it's just like, I met your mom before. You did. You did.
Mhm.
And I appreciate every word that you said. And I'll take it and I'll own it. I'll own it
Mhm.
because she definitely taught me a lot about work ethic and a lot of fun stuff. So,
Mhm.
and to have fun. She was always dancing and singing around the house. And I like to have fun. I like, I love, I have a great sense of humor, if I say so myself. So I say I got that from
You
my family.
do. You do. That's one thing I enjoy about being in your presence. Like,
Oh,
even if we are in a professional setting, you always were able to bring the fun to it, and that never left me, by the way, because I said, if I can't have fun at work, what do I have? Especially the type of work that we do, because it's not always fun. So I said that's something that I carry with me as well. Like, I always say that if I can't have fun at work, then what do I have? Especially in those moments when you don't have. It's not so much of a fun day. I still try to bring some type of humor. Even in a serious meeting, I'm the one that brings a little bit of humor into that. That's what I learned from you, Coach. So thank you for that.
I love it, Coach. We did have fun together, and I'm so glad that you kept that because
Yeah,
you're a silly girl. You're a serious girl, but we can be silly. I love it. I
yeah,
love it.
we
I
can.
love it. All right.
Yeah.
So with this song, "Wind Beneath My Wings," sung by Bette Midler, I decided to pull out the second verse in the chorus to this, Coach.
Okay.
So the song goes, "It might have appeared to go unnoticed, but I've had it all here in my heart. I want you to know I know the truth. Of course, I know it. I would be nothing without you." That verse says it all. I saw her sacrifices, the long hours she worked, her unwavering strength. And I carry that with me throughout all of it. And then the chorus is, "Did you ever know you were my hero? You're everything I wish I could be. If I could fly higher than an eagle, for you are the wind beneath my wings." Right.
Mm.
And I think that song is extremely important um, when you're looking at these mother daughter relationships, because to me, the idea is to raise your children. And I'm going to say mothers and daughters is to pass on what you know to them. So, and then help them become even higher and better than what you were. To me, that's what I
Mm.
want for my daughter. I tell her, I expect you to do more and become more than what I am, you know?
Mm.
And so you soar higher, but I'll be the wind that helps you get up there, right? Or that
Mhm.
helps to carry you up. And so I have to give my mom that credit for that. So I'm going to give you a little story here, go back a little bit, to tell you a little bit about her character and what I mean by that. Now, disclosure: no family is perfect, right? And so, but at the same time, we are family. And one thing about my family throughout the ups and downs, um, my mother is a consistent. She was there, especially when you needed her to be. And so, back in 2014, Coach. Um, I was getting ready to move to California to work on my doctorate, and I was diagnosed with kidney cancer. And so it was a complete shock. I didn't expect it. It came out of nowhere, and I'm like, I've got to be gone and go to California in like 2 months. What are y'all talking about? Like I was
Mhm.
leaving my job and uprooting my life. Me and my daughter, we were out of here, and I get this news just because I was getting a regular checkup before I left. And so everyone, out of love and fear, gently urged me to postpone my move, you know. But deep down, I felt that I was supposed to go. But regardless of that, there was still doubt there. I felt the doubt. Um, am I making this right decision? What should I do? And so I didn't tell anyone that I was second guessing myself. I just put on that brave front, like, well, the doctor said it was going to be fine. And whatever, like shutting it out. But inside, I'm really like, am I crazy? Why is everybody saying this to me? Like, I think I'm going to be okay. The doctors reassured me that this looks early. We're going to do this. You should be able to go. And if you need follow up care, you'll get that go see these doctors here. And so, but still it's there, especially when it's everybody, like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? So I'm second guessing myself. And fast forward to I'm at the hospital. I'm lying there in pre-op before surgery, right? and then fear starts to hit me. It's like taking over. And I am just like starting to wonder, what if I'm wrong? What
Mm.
if I'm being ridiculous? Like, what's going to happen? What if something goes wrong in the surgery? And then I'm talking about, or if everything goes okay, but I'm saying I'm leaving, and then the recovery goes bad, like all these things and start going in my head. And again, I know what the doctors told me, that I could transfer care with any follow up, but like, should I do this? And am I making it this harder for myself? Am I forcing this? Like, what is this about? So my mom was there sitting next to me, and I have pictures that we'll put up. My mom was sitting there next to me, talking nonstop. Just she was extrovert, so she's just talking nonstop. Never been through anything like this before, she nor I, right? With any of her kids being sick like this or anything. And she's just trying to keep me grounded. And so she's just talking about stuff that I could care less about. And me being a more introverted person, I just really needed to, um, you know, be to myself for a second and take this all in. So I said, Mom, Mommy, can you go to the waiting room? I'm okay. Girl, she looked at me and she was like, anywhere, girl, I'm not going anywhere. And, that was that. Like,
Mhm.
she was like, guess again. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so I thought about it and I said, okay, I had to talk myself through that. And I said, why would you don't deprive her of spending this time with her youngest child in this situation right now? God forbid, but what if this is the last time she's able to talk to me, right?
Mhm.
So give her that. So I swallowed my whole, introverted wanting privacy self and just let her continue to talk. But then she stopped and then she looked over at me and she said, so when do you need to be in California? And so
Mm.
I told her, I said, well, school starts on this day. So, if I can be there by then I can make it. And we were cutting real close. This was like in July, and I was supposed to be there by the end of August. So we're talking about surgery, recovery time, moving cross country, all of that. And she just
Mhm.
looked at me and then she looked straight ahead and she said, well, I guess we better get busy once you get out of here. And we
Hmm.
were both quiet, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That was all I needed. Like,
Mm.
it was a quiet agreement, like that
Mhm.
powerful bit of faith,
Mm.
that was her saying, you got this. You're going to be good. I believe in you. And I didn't need to hear anything else. No more doubt. Everything was gone. I knew I was doing the right thing. And
Mm.
a mother knows their child, you know,
They do.
can even speak that to her. And she knew what to say to me in that moment. And so, coach, the surgery went well. We moved to
Mhm.
California 6 weeks later, me and my daughter. My mom spent a month and a half with us recovering in
Mhm.
Houston. And then she spent the next month and a half in California to make
Mhm.
sure that the transition was out well and recovery was well. But she didn't just support me. She literally helped me and carried me through that time, you know,
Yes.
to
Mm.
get through it as a single mom, as someone who just went through a very serious situation, and then this brand new move, never had moved, had I lived outside of Texas and I'm going to do all of these things and left my job, was just so much change. But she was there as that grounded person for me to say, you can do this, because it was a big deal to go get your doctorate, right? And
Mm.
so I told her how much I appreciated her.
Mhm.
I still talk about her drive, her heart, her determination to everyone. You've heard me mention it before,
Mhm.
but everything I've done, um,
Mhm.
every ego level that I've reached and soared, like level of success, she made it possible in some way.
Mm.
In her, just in who she was the wind that helped me to soar. And so I want to honor her today.
Mm.
Mommy, I love you. I honor you every day. Happy
Mm.
Mother's Day. We miss you terribly, and we thank you for being the woman you were, so we could be the women that we are today. Love you.
Oh Lord, that is so beautiful, Coach. I don't know if you saw or if you guys saw, but my eyes were tearing up a little bit, and I was like, I know we want some more views, but I don't know if I want to get it that way. 'Cause I know you guys like
We'll highlight it. You're right.
those tear jerky moments, but yeah, I was trying to, pull it back again, but it was very powerful what you said about a mother knowing her child or her children, and that moment of quiet agreement where she gave you the faith and the courage to still hold on and fight. And I think even in the situation that you were faced with, how can I put it?
Mm.
Even in that moment of having all of that doubt and not really knowing what would happen and what was on the other side of that surgery, she was still able to give you some type of comfort and some type of peace. And that's what you needed. And then that helped you to fight beyond that surgery. And then for her to uproot her life and help you in that transitional phase, which to me was a very monumental moment in your life because you kind of shed your skin of the old Erica and then you emerged into the next level Erica. And
Next
had
level.
you not made that move to California, I wonder how different your life would have been. And I wonder, would you have had regrets? But because of mommy in that moment, you don't have to wonder. You don't
I don't
have to
have.
wonder.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Coach. I don't have to wonder. I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
When
Mm-hmm.
I tell that story, I
Mm-hmm.
usually get to tears, and so
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
she, there's nothing. She knew what I needed in that moment. I didn't even communicate that to her.
Yeah. Mm.
That's all I needed was someone to believe with me.
Mm.
That's all I needed, and she did it. And so here
Okay.
we are. And then, Coach, 11 years later,
Hmm.
thank God, cancer free,
Cancer
still,
free. Hmm.
thriving here. And she's very much a part of every step in success and miss her dearly. But like
Mm-hmm.
you said, would have been it could have looked a lot different if I let fear set in or even didn't
Mm.
have that support just to make sure that it was all good. So
Yeah.
yeah, she deserves that memory today.
Thank you. Praise goes to the Most High too, as well. For
Mhm.
keeping you right.
Oh, girl, I'm so grateful to God. Me and we have that. We have our relationship that's just beyond because
Mm-hmm.
for him to illuminate that there was this tumor at stage 1A
Mm.
is
Mm.
and they call it an incidental finding because I was just going to have a regular physical because I was about to move.
Mm.
I'm so grateful because I would have moved and not even known that this thing was there. No
Mm.
symptoms or anything. So he's always got my, thank you. To Mother's Day, Father's Day, anything, all praises be to be to God for sure. Yeah, so anyway, Coach, we are
Mm.
mothers too, though.
We are absolutely, and we both have daughters. Ironically.
We do both have daughters. What do you
Mm-hmm.
want your daughter to what's your what do you want if you had to think of at least one thing that you want to pass on to your daughter, what would that
Mm-hmm.
be?
I would say that I would urge her to always stay grounded.
Mm.
Um, Grounded in her faith,
Mhm.
grounded in her walk with God,
Mhm.
grounded in her love of self,
Mhm.
and stay fierce like she is,
Mhm. She is fierce.
and always have an elevated sense of self-worth. Not to the point where you're arrogant or pretentious, but to the point where you're not easily shaken or moved by
Mhm.
the fickle nature of man and societal standards that are placed on people and peer pressure that comes along as you grow up. That kind of sometimes shifts or alters how we see ourselves. And I think when you're a child, your imagination kind of takes care of that in a sense. Like, you feel like you're untouchable. And so things may not hurt as much. But as you get older and you lose your imagination and you start to experience the world, sometimes you start to doubt yourself. And I don't ever want her to doubt her greatness because God gifted us all with greatness.
Mhm.
And the only way in which we can actually realize that is if we keep believing, trusting in Him, but also we believe in ourselves in the process. and we do the work. So I know that was a lot bundled up in one thing, but that's what I would say. That's my takeaway. Stay
That's,
grounded in those things.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So
What
what,
about you?
what I would want to leave my daughter or to pass on to her is to do everything you can
Mm,
to become everything that you were meant to be.
mm,
I
I
think
like
so
that.
many people leave this earth with all of their gifts and treasures buried still inside,
Mm,
and they're no good there. And I think that there are various reasons that happen.
mhm,
We get discouraged.
mhm,
We get, sometimes we believe the naysayers,
mhm,
all kinds of reasons. Sometimes the table just isn't built for us. There's no room there. We can't sit. And I tell her, I hope that she knows that you can go build a table wherever you'd like.
mm.
And if that is, God already made room for you.
Absolutely.
And so you just have to find where that is. And don't feel stuck. Don't think that
Mhm,
it has to be at a certain place. It literally
mm,
can be anywhere. God made the world. The world belongs to him.
mm.
The world. And
The
so if you
word.
expand that, right? The world
Mhm.
belongs to him. If you expand that, possibilities are limitless.
I
Don't
love it.
don't be stuck. There's too much um complacency.
Yeah.
There's too much people just living at their comfort level,
Mhm,
but then they want to do more, and they look at other people doing more, and they, for some reason, they have disassociated themselves so much from that type of achievement for whatever reason. We're all capable. It's all there. It's just a
mm,
shift in the perspective and mindset. And so I would want her to hold on to that spirit of that. Do it well. I know she's destined for great things.
mhm.
And then I would just add to it, in that process of being all that you were meant to be, remain kind, remain compassionate, and keep your integrity.
I love
And
it.
God first. That's what I would want to
Well,
for her. Mhm.
that's good, coach. I don't know if you were talking to your daughter or you were talking to me, but that was a good message. I think many people can apply it.
I was talking to myself, girl. No, but all of us, yeah. We all could use that, right? Very good. Well, coach, this has been a beautiful, beautiful evening.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Lyrical Psychology. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed us paying homage to our mothers. Did you have any added thoughts that you wanted to take us out with?
Yeah, if I just want to say, if you've lost your mother and she's not here with you, just, you know, pick a song that reminds you of her and just dive in like Coach and I did. Enjoy the memories. But our prayers are with you, our thoughts are with you, because trust me, I understand. It can be hard for some, but embrace the life that we have because we're here today. You, RIP to the moms who are not here.
All right. Thank you guys, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe as well, and engage with us. Become a part of our Lyrical Psychology community. We are looking forward to it.
See you soon.
Peace and bye bye.